Hey Dragon Slayers! Today's video is about how I believe that the most important thing for healing any disease is diet. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. Let's get started. So, you've probably heard this before, the adage of you are what you eat. And I believe that this is so true. When you think about it in a very literal sense, all of the cells in your body, your muscle cells, your blood cells, your eye cells, your bones, your hair, your teeth, your lungs, every single cell in your body is composed of what you eat. So it kind of makes sense that you want to eat a good, clean, whole food diet. Well, I have learned throughout my years of studying health and nutrition that it is true that you are what you eat, but you are also what you eat eats. So what I mean by that is, yes, eating a cow full of protein, great, right? But what do cows eat? Cows eat grass. So why are you eating cows that are eating grains? That's not a part of a cow's natural diet. They're, in my opinion, eating what an animal that also eats its natural diet, not preservatives, not grains, if in the case of a cow, right? You want to be sure that that whole chain is good. A cow's normal diet is grass. So you want that cow that you eat to have ate grass, right? Like it's just logical to me. And I can tell you for my own body, for my own experience, that if I were to eat some grain-fed, just regular old beef and lay down, I would have terrible heartburn. I mean, absolutely terrible heartburn. I can eat grass-fed beef and lay down and have zero effect. My body digests food that has been fed properly more easily. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just sensitive, right? But I know a difference. I have friends and family that are the same way. My dad used to have trouble processing beef. He said it was hard on him, and he just kind of stopped eating beef for many, many months. And I told him to try grass-fed beef, and he did, and all of his heartburn and indigestion and everything else went away. I'm not the only one that I know of that has had similar effects. So I highly recommend you guys go for the highest quality sources that you can afford. Key factor being afford, because it's not cheap to eat healthy at all. So I have done a lot of experimentation on my own body over the years, from fasting to 14-day fasts, multiple 14-day fasts, 7-day fasts, 5-day fasts, 3-day fast. I've done all sorts of stuff. I find that diet is still number one. I feel that what you put in your body is the most important thing that you can do for your health. And so it's sort of core and central to everything. The reason why you want to eat high protein is that your body is largely protein. You are largely protein and water, right? So you're going to use fat for fuel, ideally, if you're eating low carb. So the fat is going to give you an energy source, the protein is going to repair, and the water is going to replenish. The vast majority of my diet is protein, water, and fat. That doesn't mean that I don't ever eat carbs, because I do. Carbs are delicious, but they're not the mainstay of my diet. You know, I try to make sure I follow an 80-20 principle. So 80% of the time, I try to do what's right or what's best or what's optimal. And then 20% of the time, I'm like, whatever, I just have fun. We're human. I love popcorn. That is one of my biggest carb weaknesses. I love popcorn. I recently bought a popcorn machine, and I limit myself to once a week. But man, once a week, I just indulge in all the butter and all the salt and all the carbs, and it makes me super, super happy. So you got to find what works for you. It's very important to monitor your blood sugar, particularly if you have diabetes or any sort of metabolic disease, or if you're insulin resistant, you have to monitor and watch it. But know that diet is number one. Eat as low carb as possible, as low carb as you personally can tolerate. You want to prioritize your protein and just have some fat to give you the energy that you need. I like Dr. Benjamin Beekman says to control carbohydrates, prioritize protein, and fill with fat. And I think that's a really good premise. Dr. Ted Naiman does something similar about prioritizing protein. It is the number one macronutrient based upon all of the research that I've done. Protein is number one. I encourage you guys to do your own research, do your own studying, find out what works best for you. But I think in a general sense, if you prioritize protein, control or reduce your carbohydrates to the lowest level that you're comfortable with, and just eat healthy fats, no hydrogenated oils, no any sort of like fake or artificial oils, just animal fat, butter, which is still an animal fat, and fruit fat. So coconut, right, is a fruit, olive is a fruit. So fruit and animal fats only. It's the only kind of fat anyone should ever be eating. But that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. And remember, guys, that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.